Oh, hello everybody. I'm live. So I want to talk about all the stuff going on with the EDD and your unemployment claims. And I just want to say it would help a lot if you start off your comment or your chat comment with what type of claim you're on. That'll help me be able to answer your questions a little bit better. I hope everybody's having a good weekend. You guys know that I always get excited when I see Heidi in the chat, and she is in the chat. We are both back to work. She's actually about to go to work right now. And that's been interesting. We've both had our first dose of the vaccine, and it's strange to be back, but it feels good. I usually start off these lives with questions from people who have memberships on the channel, and I do have a few questions from them this morning. So somebody's just saying thanks for finding time for you guys, and I do want to continue to help you guys. Even though I'm currently back at work, we still have a lot of staff members from the theater that are not back at work, so they still have a lot of questions as well. And this is the easiest way to get information to all of them at once. So the first one is from Xtina, and it says that her benefit year ends 3/13, and she's on extension. She called the EDD. Sorry, I'm gonna turn off my heater. Called the EDD and talked to someone about opening a new claim, and she said I didn't have to because my account is on tier 1 and I would be on tier 2 until after 4/11. Then Fed Ed, and once that's over, I can open a new claim. I'm so confused about this. So let me just say this. I know that there has been a lot of confusion about whether to reopen a claim or file a new claim. First, if you have a PUA claim, you do not need to open a new claim. PUA, those weeks will be added automatically. You shouldn't need to take any additional steps. Now, if you call and a rep tells you that you do not need to file a new claim, but you're like, but Shelly and Jenny keep telling me I do need to do that. Calling can kind of bypass the whole reapplying process, which is why we recommend calling over hitting the file a new claim button. So if you call and a rep tells you that you don't need to file a new claim, that is because they've asked you a question or looked at something in your claim history that they can see when they log on to your personal account that tells them, hey, this person doesn't need to go through that whole process. And it's that phone call that allows them to bypass that. So if they've told you that, it's because that call is taking care of that. So you don't necessarily need to reapply or file a new claim. But if you don't, and I recommend that you don't, calling will bypass that process. So that's why they're saying that. It's not exactly that you need to check. You need to check if you qualify for a new claim, and the easiest way to check is by calling. So I hope that clears that portion of that up. Okay. So Xtina, your call has allowed you not to file a new claim. So I hope that makes sense. The FXMX says, my wife is on a PUA claim and got approved for the PPP loan. Does she claim this money in her weekly certification? And if so, how? So what you're going to do is you can pay yourself out of your PPP loan. So you would pay yourself your check just like you normally would, and then you would report to the EDD those earnings. You would report that you've paid yourself however much you paid yourself. And a lot of times that may mean that you get the excessive earnings warning for that week while you're paying yourself out of that PPP money. Okay, Roxette says, I'm on a PUA claim, and after the 11-week boost ended, my EDD page started looking different. You know how it has the certification stuff on the top portion of the page that tells you that you don't have any weeks to certify for, and check back after whatever day. It has claim summary after that. Well, my claim summary is the only thing there now. Please help. What does that mean? Also, my benefit year is 7 of 2019. through extension, if that helps at all. So usually extension would mean that you're not on a PUA claim. So that would generally mean that you had a PEUC claim, and on extension generally would mean, I'm sorry, you guys, I have this sick cat. I shared like a post and it is wanting in this room really bad right now. So if you guys hear a lot of noise, that's what that is. And I'm not hurting the cat. It just wants in. So I would call to find out why the claim summary thing is the only thing that you're seeing. And if you absolutely can't get through to the EDD, call them. Okay. And then Barbara says, that she's not able to join, but she has a question. She screwed up her certification when reporting work. She waited until she got paid. I know that this was the wrong thing to do. I called the EDD right away and explained. I was having trouble the next time with inputting the work I had again. So I called again right away. I did input my day's work the next time and didn't get paid. I called and she said it was pending. I needed to wait for an interview. I've still not received notice for my interview, and they told me once I get the date, it will be in 6 to 8 weeks for the interview. I don't know how long all of this is going to take. With other questions in the past, has anyone spoke to how long the process is? I've only seen those phone determination interviews take about 2 weeks, I'd say. Just make sure that you answer the phone. Usually it pops up on your UI online homepage when that interview will be, but not always. Some people are getting that call unannounced. So make sure to maybe answer phone calls, even from numbers that aren't familiar to you. All right. And welcome, new member Kim. And let's get into your questions. Okay, so Scotty says his traditional unemployment claim is going to expire on 4/10, but he's not made any income in 2020. Do I still apply? So he's asking, does he apply for a traditional claim, a PUA claim, or not eligible to get any more benefits? What you're going to want to do is call, because if you haven't worked at all, that's one of those situations where they are most likely going to tell you that you don't need to reapply. So I wouldn't hit the reapply button, but I would call. Then as soon as you tell them that you haven't had any work in all of 2020, they should be able to make a notation of that onto your account and keep you on the extension. And Bree Marie, I'm going to skip yours because you were just letting us know that everything went okay. I do appreciate you sharing that with everyone. And please take a moment, everyone, to like this video while I scroll down and find the next question. Krista says, oh yeah, the EDD website has been crashing all day, all night. So that's unfortunately fairly normal right now. People are saying that if you go on from your phone, there's the top option to choose UI online and then the bottom option to choose UI mobile. That people are having some success if they choose UI mobile instead of UI online. So try that. If you've been trying from your phone, but you have a laptop or a regular computer available to you, maybe try that option, because sometimes if the going on through your phone doesn't work, sometimes the desktop will. And then if you are going on through your phone, go ahead and choose UI mobile instead of UI online. That's working for some people, but it's just a lot of people certifying and a lot of, different situations. Should I just let this cat in? I'm worried he's going to knock over like camera equipment and stuff, but I don't know. Can you guys hear this cat? I don't know. Anyway. Okay. So Dave said, Dave's saying the EDD site's having problems, and that's true for everyone. John Lee says he applied online for a new claim, got approved for $280 weekly benefit, but the old benefit amount was $450 a week on a claim that ended December 2020. How do I get back to $450 a week? So John, they should be sending you a letter. I'm back to work, but I am going to be making videos today that I can post throughout the week, and that will be one of them. I actually have a sample of the letter that they should be sending you next, letting you know that they're going to keep you on your old claim at your higher weekly benefit amount. I would expect that letter should come in 5 to 10 business days. Oh, yep. Bree Marie's just sharing the same tip that I did for logging on. Jerry says, my year ends 3/29 and I'm at 0 on PEUC. Should I wait till the end of the month or reapply? So I have heard that you can reapply up to 10 days before your benefit year ends, and that would be right now. But again, Jerry, I'm going to recommend calling. You guys, probably Sunday and Monday are probably the worst 2 days to call because everybody's certifying today. So if they don't get through today, they're going to be calling tomorrow. So maybe try Tuesday or Wednesday. And good times that I've heard to call the EDD are right at 8:01 when they open, around 11 a.m., right after they get back to lunch at 1, and then again kind of from 4 to 6. And then I wouldn't call after 6 because it seems like the phone lines are too full of people waiting in the queues. And so it knows that you're not actually going to get through to actually talk to a rep because they close at 8. So those are the times I'd recommend calling. So you should be able to go ahead and call now. Dulce says, is anyone getting an error when trying to fill out their weekly information? Yeah, the site is just crashing a lot. Miss Mommy 619 says they can't get through to a rep. It is very, very hard. So I always recommend 4 things. 1, you are going to continue to try and call a rep. 2, you're going to use Ask EDD. 3, you're going to use Contact Us from your UI Online homepage, and that you got to play around with it to get to a question that'll allow you to actually send a question. Usually, I think it's payments, and then where's my payment will allow you to type a question. And then 4th is reach out to your local assembly member, and they should hopefully be able to help you with your claim. Oh my God, you guys, this cat. Okay, John Geo says, happy Sunday. I'm on extension tier 2, and I was able to certify today, and it says paid for 2 weeks. It has run out of money. What happens next? So if you're on your benefit year, if you're within your benefit year, the EDD is still in the process of programming the 3rd extension, which I think we'll probably say extension tier 3, but I don't know that for sure. They're in the process of programming that. And unfortunately, they're saying that it could take as long as April 30th for that next extension to be successfully programmed in and you to be able to certify and get paid again. I do want to say that in the past, when they give those deadlines, a lot of times it has happened faster. And I imagine it'll start to happen in batches. That's going to be true for PUA claims that are out of funds as well. They've said that it could take until April 10th, but what I'm hoping is that they will, start doing it in batches, and you guys will start seeing your claim balances, and for PUA claims, your end date of your benefit year changing, hopefully before April 10th. Really Tired 64, thank you for the donation. Talk about PUA claimants having to wait until 4/30 to certify, and will we get retroactive pay for April? Yes, it will be retroactive to the last time you got paid. That will include the retroactive $300. And again, I literally just said this. This was part of the last question. In the past, the EDD has been able to complete the programming a little bit faster than anticipated, but it could take up until April 30th. Now, if you still have a claim balance, you'll be allowed to, and we've already seen this, people have been able to certify and get paid. The $300 is in place for those of you on a PUA claim who have a claim balance, on PEUC that have a claim balance, and you're within your benefit year, people on Fed Ed, or people on a regular unemployment claim. But people, and this applies to me, and even though I'm back to work, like I don't quite know what my hours are going to be, I'm still certifying because one week I might get 5 hours and the next week I might get 50, who knows. So I'm still certifying, but my claim hit 0. I should also say that right now, because my benefit year has also ended, I can't actually certify yet. They have not been able to add. I called and I had trouble video coming on that too. But that may be because I had some earnings and some other things that complicated it, like YouTube money. Okay, Johnny, I hope that answered that. Really tired, but yeah, it could take until April 30th, but fingers crossed that'll happen earlier. Okay, we're all on unemployment. You guys don't have to do the donations, and I don't want to only answer donation questions. I sure appreciate it though. Johnny says, if we're able to certify today, are we going to receive our money for tomorrow? And does the $300 a week kick in this Monday? So yes, if you're certified and see it get paid, you will be able to get paid, and the $300 is in place for those of you and will be deposited. So that's good. Oh, thank you, TCH. Thank you for the donation. I really appreciate it. Okay, back to the regular chat. Joel says, EDD, should I reapply as PUA versus regular? Uber driver here and still thinking I'll have nothing for me. So scary, this whole thing. I do this, guys, when I want to remember something. So I'm doing this to remind myself to say something. So scary, I will have this whole filing a new benefit year for a brand new claim is awful. So, Joel, the questions that they ask you when you file a new claim will determine which type of claim you're on. I know that with Uber drivers, things have changed in the way you guys are classified. For a little while, you were classified as employees, and now you're not being classified as employees. So all I can tell you is if you were on a regular unemployment claim and your benefit year has ended, you are going to need to check and see if you qualify for a new claim. And the best way to do that is by calling. And then if you haven't worked at all since you first applied for benefits, you're not going to qualify for a new claim anyway, and then they're going to keep you on your existing claim. So I'm kind of hoping that in your situation that you haven't worked at all, because that would really be the easiest, because that's when they're going to keep you on the existing claim. So let me know, Joel, have you worked since you filed? And you guys, I'm already about 20 minutes behind in the questions. I apologize for that. Hopefully in answering someone else's question, I'll also answer yours. Oh, and let's see here. Kim, thank you so much for the donation. 12 weeks waiting on payment. My account with EDD is fine. The rep said USID needs to remove the block and sent a US, I think that might, okay, let me do this. Needs to remove the block and send a message. I still have a balance and my year isn't up. Suggestions. So that sounds like your claim is in review and that you're probably waiting on one of those phone interviews. So I always suggest the 4 things. You've already called and that's what they've told you. So you've done that. You can try using Ask EDD. Submit your questions that way. See if they give you a different response than the rep did. Use Contact Us and say, hey, I haven't been paid in 12 weeks. How long should I expect to wait on this? And then also reach out to your local assembly member. I haven't put the description in this video yet, but in the description of this video, I will provide a link on how to find your assembly member. They're often able to help get the ball rolling. I think that's been recommended so much. They are getting a little bit behind. Used to be that they would respond to you within 48 hours and often have your account fixed within 4 days, but I think they're getting backed up too. So, but I would recommend reaching out to them and seeing if they can help, because 12 weeks is a really long time. It also wouldn't hurt to try calling again and say, hey, it's been 12 weeks. Is it normal that it's been in review with this other department for that long? And I'm so sorry that it's been that long since you've gotten paid. Okay, so Miss Mommy 619 says Fed Ed end of year only got paid for 1 week. Let me double check on this. There is something weird with Fed Ed having a second week glitch, and I actually asked in my group about that. There's my group on Facebook that I moderate for. They're saying you have to call and get it pushed through, but there's some reps that don't understand the guidelines. But they are seeing, both Jenny and I have said, some Fed Ed claims seem to be able to certify and get paid past their benefit year end. So we are seeing more claims get paid after that. but they seem to hit a snag if they are the odd week. For instance, theirs expired last week on their certification date, no problems. But people whose claims ended a week before the certification get 1 week pending. So did your claim year end 1 week before that second week that's stuck on pending? If so, you do have to call and get that released. I'm so sorry about that. Okay. Scotty, I did answer yours and you told me right at the beginning. I just missed it somehow. I'm sorry about that. I hope that you got that answer. Andrew, certified for your benefits and EDD and has not paid you at all. Has it just not switched today? Because sometimes it doesn't switch to paid until later. Have you been certifying for like months on end and you haven't gotten paid? Oh, PUA claim. I still need more details. Like how long have you been certifying and not gotten paid? If it's just this morning and it hasn't switched, I wouldn't worry too much about that. If it's been more than 72 hours, you need to do those 4 steps. Call EDD, use Ask EDD, use Contact Us, and reach out to your assembly member. Myra says, I did certify today. I'm on PEUC. I got my $300 boost. My claim ends 3/23, and that's actually going to be, if that's tomorrow, and claims don't end on Monday. So it actually, your claim year probably ended yesterday, 3/20. Oh, but it's telling you to certify on April 4th. Do I need to reapply for a new claim or wait till I certify on April 4th? You're on PEUC. So it's my understanding that your benefit year has ended. But I would call, and you can try and wait to see what happens on April 4th. Do you have a claim balance left, Myra? That shouldn't matter. Your benefit year is up, so I would recommend calling them, and then that should hopefully bypass the whole process of reapplying. Linda says, call the EDD and 3 out of 4 reps said I don't apply and that it's my choice if I want to. Otherwise, it's automatically extended to the new PEUC. My benefit year ended. Makes no sense. Website says to reapply. Yeah, so I don't know why they're saying it's your choice if you want to reapply. I have a feeling that what the reps are seeing is that you won't qualify. My guess is that they asked you, have you worked since the pandemic started or since you first applied for benefits? My guess would be that you're like, no, I haven't worked. So they're kind of able to see that you won't qualify for a new claim. And that would be what allows you to stay on the extension. So if they have told you that you don't need to reapply, I would go ahead and if 3 out of 4 have told you that, that's pretty consistent, and I wouldn't reapply online. The calling should do that, and it seems like they're saying it should be added automatically. So hopefully they've put the notes in the programming on your claim for that to happen. Angelina, thank you for the donation. Important information on PUA. File a new claim or managing your existing. Today, it let me certify for my benefits. Extension tier 2, what do I do? So that comes up for everybody starting about 2 weeks before your claim year ends. So it sounds like, so you're going to want to call them and see if you qualify for a new claim. So for now, you can go ahead and hit manage your existing claim, but you are at the point on your unemployment path where you're going to need to call and see if you qualify for a whole new claim. I know that calling is really hard to get through. I do want to say this. Here's another reason why both Jenny and I are recommending calling versus hitting apply for a new claim. And that is when you hit reapply or file a new claim, what happens is it treats it just like you're applying for the very first time for benefits. And that's going to take at least 21 days. It says 21 days or more before they even determine if you qualify for a new claim. Then if you don't qualify for a new claim, they're just going to have to keep you on these extensions anyway. which is why we're recommending calling. And you guys, I alluded earlier in this chat that I called and the guy was kind of rude and he's like, well, if it says file a new claim, you're going to need to file a new claim. Like, I can't push it out for you. But I really think that I just got a bad rep and I am planning on calling again this week. Jillian says, why are some of the tier 2 reps telling people on PEUC not to apply for a new year and it's automatic, even as your benefit year ends? Even Jenny did a video about this. Yeah, so basically when you call, there's I don't know what it is because I don't know what they see. My gut intuition tells me that they're saying, well, have you worked at all since you last applied for benefits? And if you say no, that rep is kind of able to like push your extension date out and say, hey, this person isn't going to qualify, so don't make them go through the process of applying for a new claim. So that's why we're saying to call, because when you call and they tell you you don't need to apply for a new claim, that should be true. But the call is it's like reapplying. You know what I mean? Like, they're checking with you on the phone to see if you're going to meet the requirements. And one of the requirements to qualify for a new claim is that you've done some work since you first applied for benefits. And so if they ask you that and you've told them, no, I haven't done any work, then that tells them you're not going to qualify for a new claim. And then most of the time they're able to kind of delay the requirement for officially reapplying. I hope that makes sense. But that's what's happening. The call kind of takes place of reapplying, and that's why we're recommending calling. Okay, thank you, Myra, for the donation. I really appreciate that. Janie says, I ran out of money today and my year has ended. Should I wait for a letter? No, don't wait for a letter. Also, don't automatically file for a new claim. Go ahead and make that call, because then what you're hoping is that what you guys are hoping for when you call is that they say you don't need to apply for a new claim. Because in that call, they're able to see if you're going to qualify for a new claim. So you're wanting them to say you don't need to reapply. But when they say it'll be added automatically, that is because something you've told them on that call allows them to put that note on your claim and do that. I hope that makes sense. So that's why they're saying that. But the call, so either call, which is what we recommend, or you have to file a whole new claim. But calling is going to kind of have the extensions kick in automatically. Now, keep in mind that if you're totally out of money and you were on extension tier 2, PEUX, PEUC2, whatever you want to call it, if you're out of money on the second PEUC extension and your claim year has ended, even if the rep told you you don't need to reapply, the EDD has not completed the programming for that, and they may not have that in place until April 30th. LA Marvel. Man, I'm bad with these names. Can't even say LA Marvel. Okay, you guys. Okay, currently on FedEd, started on 12/19/20. My benefit year started on 3/15/20, and I am still on FedEd. So when Trump passed the new law on 12/27, I never received the 11 weeks. So will I lose the 11 weeks? Haha, that is a very good question. Yes and no. It's not exactly losing weeks. It's that basically right now, the longest anyone's unemployment claim of us that started a long time ago is going to be extended to is September 4th. So once you're out of this FedEd money, one, they might make you apply for a whole new claim once your FedEd balance reaches 0, because my guess would be that if you're on FedEd, your benefit year is ending. Oh yeah, you just said that. The benefit year started 3/15, so your benefit year has ended. They're probably going to make you apply for a whole new claim. And if you don't qualify for a whole new claim, then they're going to put you on basically this next PEUC extension, which carries you through September 4th. So you won't ever get that 11-week one, but you're still going to be carried through September 4th, just like all the other claims. So you don't exactly lose it. Okay. Joe FR says, my PUA claim for 167 you started a W-2 job. You had a little over 10K in earnings with excessive earnings for the past 16 weeks. Can I collect benefits now that I'm not working? Yes. And you might have the reopen claim button. Joe FR, I also need to know when your benefit year is over because you might be within a whole new benefit year. And some of that $10,000 in W-2 earnings may count towards a new benefit year for like a new claim amount for you. Your claim amount might go up. So if you're within your benefit year, you're going to hit, that's the reopen claim button, not the refile or file a new claim. That's the reopen claim button. If you're within your benefit year, that's what you're going to hit. And that's exactly what that reopen claim button is supposed to be for, where you were getting benefits, then you got a job, started going to work for a while, but now you're furloughed or laid off again. That's what that reopen claim button. So if you're within your benefit year, go ahead and click reopen claim and start certifying again. And yeah, you should be able to get paid unless for some reason you were let go and then your employer might contest it. Myra, oh, and thank you for the donation. And then Myra, thank you for the donation. Last PEUCX payment was on 4/4. I was not approved for a new claim. Do I have to wait until 4/30 to see the updated extension? We don't quite know yet, Myra. So that's what the EDD has said. That new extension is not programmed yet. We have seen before when the EDD, I would plan for the worst, and the worst is 4/30. But we have seen in the past where the EDD has actually been able to get it programmed a little bit faster. I'm hoping that they are and that they start doing it in batches, but it could be as late as 4/30 because since you weren't approved for a new claim, that third PEUC extension is what you're waiting for, and it's just not programmed yet, and it could take up until 4/30. But I'm hoping it'll be sooner, but plan on it not being ready till 4/30. It should be retroactive once, the programming is in place. Okay. Oops. Okay. Sophia's saying that they're saying not to reapply for PUA or PEUC. It should just be PUA. PEUC people who are at their benefit end year, at least call and have the rep tell you that. Tony says, how come when I certified today after completing the first 3 pages, the last page shows this page is unavailable? It sounds like it crashed in the middle of your certification. Aw, thank you, spell legacy like death. And that's a cool username. Thank you for saying I look beautiful. So I'm about 30 minutes behind in chat now. Uh-oh. Nope, I'm a little bit further away than 30 minutes. No, I'm really far behind, guys. Oh no, I'm very far behind. I'm still at like, oh, Johnny, thank you for the donation. I'm going to be on you said, do you know if we're going to be able to certify today if the website will let us because it's not letting me certify? It keeps logging you out. It will eventually, Johnny. It's just really glitchy. So what you're going to want to do, there's a couple things to try. One, try if you're using your phone, instead of hitting the UI online option, try hitting UI mobile. A lot of people are having success that way. Also, if you're using your phone and you've tried both UI online and UI mobile from your phone and that's not working, try a laptop or a desktop computer. If you don't have one of those, just keep trying. It has been glitchy all day. You'll eventually be able to certify, I would imagine, today, but everybody's having a lot of trouble with that. And I'm so sorry about that. And thank you guys so much for helping each other in these comments. You guys know when I lose my place to please like the video, and I've lost my place. So take a moment, like the video, Thank you, Angelina, for the donation. Your question is, this came up, important information on PUA, file a new claim or manage existing. It let you certify for your benefits. Extension 2. What do you do? So that probably means you're nearing the end of your benefit year. So as long as you're within your benefit year, go ahead and keep certifying for benefits, but up to 10 days before your claim expires, call the EDD and ask, say it's saying I need to file a new claim, but I haven't worked at all since I first filed. What do you recommend? And then that's when you're hoping that they tell you, oh, you don't need to file a new claim. And that's because when you call, they should be able to push that date back if they can tell you're not going to qualify for a whole new claim. Hi, I love podcast. It was nice talking with you on Discord. Oh, thank you for the background art. And yeah, I'm feeling energetic today. You guys being back at work was a little bit weird. It's long shifts because it's all different at work. My feet are killing me. So it's nice to be able to sit down and chat with you guys this morning. So thank you for the donation. I love podcast. Skylar says, well, I have to fill out the job searches still if my hours have been severely cut when I start back to work this week. Mine says I have to fill it out. So you guys know that for a long time, I was inputting 3 job searches a week. I finally quit doing that. So you do want to hit yes that you're looking for work. But when it gets to the part where you actually put in the places where you've applied, as of right now today, the work search requirement is still waived. So you're going to hit yes. Then when you get to the page where you enter the places where you applied, you're going to hit skip. And for the PEUC people, we were supposed to list 3 places, but since you don't list any and you hit skip, you can you'll just do that for both weeks. You don't have to hit like skip, skip, skip. You don't have to hit skip 3 times. Anyway, I hope that made sense. And the work search requirement is waived. And I've been testing that out. I finally, when I started to get a few hours at work, I was like, I'm not looking for other work anymore, but I'm still going to hit yes to the question, but then hit skip for the places where I applied. Kim, you said you've tried your assembly member, but you'll keep at it. Yeah, that's all you can do. I'm so sorry about all of you guys that are having problems with your claims. Johnny, thank you for the donation. Aw, I know it's hard. Just keep trying though. I've still lost my place, guys. This is crazy. Thank you guys for all the little donations. Sometimes it doesn't pop them up at the top. I don't know why it doesn't do that. Aw, you guys are so sweet. I'm super far behind. Let's see the cat. Let the cat in. Quit crying. Should we open the door? Okay, let's go open the door. I'll be right back. I'm gonna let the loud cat in if it even realizes that I opened the door. Jenny likes it when I just roll away from the computer. It's because I'm wearing workout pants with my nice work shirt. Get kitty. People want to see you. Come here. Come here. Come here. Where are you? How'd you get in there? You go up here? Come here. Come on. Come on. All right. Sorry, guys. Just ditched you to let this cat in. It's probably going to wreck everything. This is probably a bad idea. Come on. Here, we got to push this back because I know he's going to want to jump. Come here. Come this way. All right. No, he hasn't realized. I got expensive stuff, though, that he can't jump on. All right. Let's get back to your questions. I'm going to stay on later today, guys. I don't have that much that I have to do. If he breaks this camera. All right. Come here. Kitty. All right. I'm sure he'll jump up here. So this is not my cat, guys. This cat is a neighborhood cat. I got injured. He's one of the reasons, come here, why I didn't do videos this week, because we're taking a neighborhood cat to the vet. And now, okay. All right, well, he'll come up here when he's ready. Anyway, back to your unemployment questions. He's doing better. he had a mass on his chest. Like, he's friendly. I tried to pick him up. Sorry. Some of you guys want to know about the cat, and he was loud earlier. I promise back to the ED questions in a second. I went to pick him up. Oh, no, don't go that way. And I went to pick him up, and he felt like he had a mass the size of literally a tennis ball underneath his chest, and it freaked me out. So off to the emergency vet we went, and now he has to be an indoor cat for 7 days, which freaks him out. And he seems to be getting better, though. They're treating him for an infection because they saw some bacteria, but unfortunately, if it doesn't turn out to be an infection, it could be a cancerous mass. So we're hoping it's not that, because since I've been on unemployment for all this time, come here. Like, that's going to cost a fortune if it's lost. So let's hope this infection clears up. Okay, somebody's giving me a donation to stop the babbling about the cat. Cat babble done. He'll come up when he wants. Oh. I'm on UI and this is Mickey. Thank you for the donation. I'm on UI and awaiting to be in PEUC extension. My benefit end year is on September. I know that with PEUC, we can't certify until the end of April. Do we get back pay for all the past weeks? Yes, once that programming is finally in place, they will allow you to certify back to the last time you were able to certify. So yes, that should happen successfully. Okay. Thank you guys for putting up with me while I went to go look for the cat. All right. And I had to kind of skip around a little bit because I lost my place. I'm still trying to find my place. So I'm sorry if I missed your question. Okay. Yeah, the system's glitching, everybody. So I'm all the way back at 11:09. Makeup Queen said, come here. Fed it. Oh, here he is. Look. Oh, did you guys see? Come here. Come here. Look, people want to see you. Look. Look. He has a pink. Isn't that hilarious? Okay, don't step on the computer, though. That's going to be a bad plan. Oh, he scrolled the comments, guys. All right. So, yeah, he has a pink cone because they ran out of the blue cones for boys. And, yeah, now he's being a pain. I think he might have to go, though, because he's scrolling the comments. All right. So he's hurt. He's got to wear a cone, but at least he's keeping on. Bye-bye. Okay. Cat stuff over. I'm going to go close the door because he was super distracting. So he's just going to have to cry. Come on. Come this way. Come on. Go. Bye-bye. All right. Okay. We've seen the cat. He's getting better. It does look like it's getting better. Okay. Mickey says, I'm glad that you guys find these helpful. And I am keeping up on everything that's going on with the EDD, even though I'm back at work. Okay, you guys, I'm just going to pick up on the comments at 11:15 is where I'm at with Ghostwriter. Except for Ghostwriter says, yes, even at 1 a.m. as of early Monday. So I'm not sure what that's in regards to, but that's where I am at in these comments because the cat stepped on the laptop and scrolled to a weird place. All right. Julian says, if you have trouble, yes, try UI online. That is a good tip. Jeffrey says, can you draw money from your 401k like the CARES Act? Have a blessed day. You know, I have not been able to see that. So I don't think that's in this new stimulus package. I think if you withdraw from your 401k this year, they do charge you that additional 10% penalty. I'm not 100% sure. I know I follow Meet Kevin. He reports a lot on the details of the stimulus. And that's a question that's come up for him a lot, and he hasn't been able to find it. I have not personally searched for it, but he hasn't found it. And I kind of trust that he's searched pretty hard for it by this point in time. And he says it's not in there. Susan said, my Fed Ed exhausted. My year ends April 24th. Should I reapply? No. So, Susan, it's too early for you to reapply because your benefit year is not over. The earliest you can reapply for benefits is going to be about 10 days before your claim year ends. So, what's going to happen for your claim is going to be really interesting because the next step for your claim should be, this is interesting because the next step would have been to add the second PEUC extension that would take you through April 10th. But I think you're going to miss that one because they weren't putting new people on that after the week ending March 13th. So we're now past that date. And so I think you're waiting for the third PEUC extension, which may not be ready until April 30th, which is after your benefit year ends. So in your specific situation, I think what I would recommend is waiting until April 30th if they haven't added those PEUC weeks yet, certifying and getting paid for all these in-between weeks, and then calling to see if you qualify for a whole new claim. Yours is definitely an interesting situation. Okay, Georgina says, I am PEUC. I still have a balance. Now the EDD won't allow me to certify. Is it giving you a date to certify? Is your benefit end year over? Because if your benefit year is over, it's not going to allow you to certify. So that's when you need to call and see if you qualify for a new claim. The Crispy Kev says, my benefit year is ending next week, but my benefit year just says 329 on extension. I'm a little confused if I have to open a new claim next week or not. I'm PEUC as well. So the Crispy Kev, you could actually call now to see if you qualify for a whole new claim. You are going to need to see if you qualify for a new claim. You may not have to totally reapply, so I don't recommend hitting the file a new claim button. Call them and see if they're able to keep you on the extension. So that's what I'd recommend. And you should be able to do that now. About 10 days before your benefit year ends, you guys should be able to call the reps. And then that's when you're hoping that the rep tells you you don't need to reapply. But if they tell you that, it is because they're able to look at your specific information on your claim. Usually when you say, I haven't done any work since I first got furloughed, is going to be what triggers them to know you're not going to qualify. And if they know you're not going to qualify, they should tell you you don't need to reapply. It'll be automatically added to your claim. But that's after the call. So you need to make the call to make sure that happens. Thank you for the donation. Okay. Angelina says, this came up. Oh, yeah, we did Angelina's. That's a kitty. Nathan says, not able to log on to California. Yeah, it's just been crashing all day. George, I was able to certify and you're on PUA and your status says paid. That is excellent. If you're PUA and you had a balance on your claim, then yeah, you're able to certify and it should include that extra $300. Alondra says, if you're having trouble certifying, yep, mobile site. Julian, yep, mobile, all the websites been crashing all day today. Andy, yep, you're going to have to open a new claim or see if you qualify for a new claim by calling is what I recommend. Helen Eva says, what if you worked during the 3 months before you filed and I earned enough to qualify for a new claim based on that 3 months? Helen, Eva, one of the other requirements, though, is that you need to have worked and you actually needed to earn kind of a considerable amount of money. You needed to have some attachment to the workforce since you first applied for benefits. So I think it's $1,300 that you need to have made since you first started working in order to qualify for a new claim. If you haven't worked at all, even if you had some wages in your base history, if you haven't worked at all since you first got furloughed or let go, you're not going to qualify for a new claim. So that's why it's best to call. So have you done some work? Let's see here. Oh, I forgot how to say it. Cine. That's not it. I seem to remember that when you spelled it out for me, it was Cine. That's it. Seenay is how you spelled it phonetically for me, but I have to write that down because I didn't write it down. Cine. Thank you. Oh my goodness. I wrote it down. It was, when you spelled it phonetically for me, it was Seenay, right? Okay. Anyway, thank you for the donation. I appreciate that. And welcome new member El Solario. Oh, you're just redoing your membership. So thank you for redoing your membership. And let's see, where am I in these questions? So somehow I've skipped around and I am at about 11:20. This is Tia Hardy says, will applying for PPP affect your PUA? And also, if your PUA benefits run out before your date, do you need to reapply? So PUA does not need to reapply. PUA, if your benefits have run out, they're still implementing the new programming. So if your PUA and your claim balances hit 0, the EDD is supposed to complete programming for your claims by April 10th. So you might be out of benefits until April 10th. And then after that, you should be able to certify and get paid. Now, for the PPP, first you would need to apply and see if you qualify for PPP. And that would be if you were self-employed and your business had started before February 15th of 2020, you can apply for PPP. I do think you're required to show a loss in profit year over 2019 in order to qualify for PPP. But you can always apply if you qualify and you want to use that PPP money to pay yourself a salary or wages or what have you. You would report those wages to the EDD just like you would from any other job. And that may mean that you don't qualify for benefits that week, but you can continue to certify. Thank you, Melrose Honey, for the sticker donation. I appreciate that. Let's see here. Isabel says, I'm on extension tier 2. Claim year is 3/29/2020. You have 4 weeks left of a balance. When it runs out, do I need to reapply or hope by that time it extends automatically? So you need to call and see if you qualify for a new claim, and you can actually do that as early as right now. I don't recommend calling on a Sunday or Monday if you can avoid it, because that's when everyone's having trouble with their claims and is calling. So if you can wait till like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, that's probably what I would do. But when your benefit year ends, you are going to need to see if you qualify for a new claim. And the best way to do that is by calling the EDD. And what you're hoping they tell you is that you don't need to apply for a whole new claim. That's best case scenario. Donna says, I was trying to certify for my last week on a previous claim. As far as the work screen, how do you get through that screen? I thought we didn't have to put down the 3 jobs. You tap through. Yeah, you're just going to hit skip. So the work search requirement is waived, so just hit skip. Hi, little Rambo. I'm going to take a drink. This is my breakfast smoothie. Some of it's settling at the bottom. While I take this drink, if you guys could like the video, I'd sure appreciate it. Sorry. ASMR by me says, what happens if you're drinking a smoothie was not a good choice for on camera? Water would have been better. What happens if you're in Fed and you already reapplied for a new claim? I still have money in my account, but it's about to tell me all gone. What's next? So what's next is you're waiting. And see, when you hit reapply, it takes 21 days to get a determination if you qualify for the new claim at least. And then if you don't, then they have to keep you on the extension. So what's next is you're waiting for a letter to see if you qualify for a new claim. And if you do qualify for a new claim, how much that new claim would be. And for them then, so if you don't qualify for a new claim, you'd be waiting until potentially as late as April 30th to see if you qualify for the EDD to complete the programming for extension tier 3. If you do qualify for a new claim and the weekly benefit amount is less, you would probably also still be waiting to see if you qualify. I don't know why I keep saying that. For the EDD to program in extension tier 3, if your weekly benefit amount decreases, on FedEd, I'm lying on FedEd. On FedEd, if you qualify for a new claim, even if the weekly benefit amount decreases by more than $25, they would just start paying you out on that new claim. Joe Tube, thank you for the donation. You're saying you got 2 different answers from the EDD to switch me from UI on December 26th of 2020 to the zero balance to PEUC. It's past March 7th. Why isn't EDD being overhauled? Can EDD still reimburse everyone? I certainly hope so. But Joe, if you haven't been paid since December 26th, it sounds like you are calling because you're saying you got 2 different answers, but you need to call the EDD and find out why you haven't been paid and see what they tell you. Also, use Ask EDD on their website, use Contact Us on their website, and reach out to your assembly member because that is a long time to not get paid. And I'm so sorry you haven't been paid, but that would have been phase 2. And they have said that phase 2 is supposed to be complete. So that indicates, unfortunately, that there's something else going on with your claim, but you're going to need to call them to find out what that is. Sorry, lost my place for just a second. Oh yeah, okay. Aaron says, if we get extended, do we have to drain our current balance before it refreshes like the past couple of extensions? Thanks, Shelly. I don't know 100% sure yet. I think if you're PUA, it might add the balance before you've totally hit 0. But yes, if you're currently on the PEUC extension, then you do need to wait until that hits 0. Then it's probably going to say max benefits paid. Then even though if you're within your claim year, it should happen automatically. You guys know that they're very backlogged, and even the extensions that are supposed to be applied automatically right now, you have to actually call because they're so backlogged. So yes, if you're on PEUC right now, it is my understanding that it would still need to hit 0, and then very likely that you're going to get that max benefits paid message. LA Marvel, I think we answered your question, but let's just do it again. Currently on FedEd, started 12/19. Your benefit year started 3/15, and I'm still on FedEd. So you never received the 11 weeks while I use them. Kind of, but you should still be able to stay on extension. There's going to be something for everyone until September 4th. That's basically what happened, is all the programs are now in effect until September 4th. So everybody should get paid the same number of weeks as everybody else, essentially. Pigeon, technically we're getting 600 again. 300 a week. So not 600, just $300 a week, 600 every 2 weeks when we certify. Myra, I think we did yours as well because you donated, so I did it early. PETA says, I've exhausted my PEUC on March 13th. Do I need to apply or will they just extend it? So if the claim balance hits 0, but you're still within your benefit year, what you're waiting on is for the EDD to complete programming on that for the 3rd PEUC extension, which they haven't done yet. And they've said it could take up to April 30th to complete. If your benefit year also ended, you also need to call and see if you qualify for a whole new claim. And what you're hoping they tell you is that you don't need to reapply, but you have to call so that they can put that note on your account or do whatever it is that they do with your account for them to not make you totally go through the process of reapplying. Andrew, will we get the 300 on this week's PUA as well, or only last week? They have the programming in place. You guys can actually check. I wrote it down. Here's how to check once it goes to paid, even before it hits your bank account. From your home page at the bottom, it's going to say view payment activity. Then it'll pull up all your payment history. On the right, it'll say details. You're going to click the most recent one. And then it'll have your payment info even before it hits your bank account. And it would say FAC payment $300. So that's how to check. But many reports that people who have claim balances on their PEUC or PUA claims are getting the extra $300 for both of these weeks. Okay. You guys, I am about 40 minutes behind in the questions. So I'm reading questions from 11:20. It's 1 o'clock. So I am going to start skipping around. I want to try and wrap it up in about 15 to 15, let's aim for 15 minutes. So yeah. Lush Pond says, I was wondering if my PUA ends on April 10th. No, you don't need to reapply. PUA claims don't need to reapply. By April 10th, the EDD should have the computer programming in place. What I would expect is that you will see the end date change to September 4th and your claim balance increase, but the programming is not in place for that yet. But you do not need to, PUA claims don't need to reapply. You don't need to call. If you're on a PUA claim, you're good as gold and you don't need to worry about it. Yay. Okay. Restoro says, thank you. You're welcome. For the month, paid off and instructed to check back after April 3rd and refile claim. Today, I checked my EDD shows option. I don't recommend hitting that button on April 3rd. It's a little bit early. I would wait till it's about 10 days before April 3rd, and then I would call them to see if you qualify for a new claim. That is what I would recommend on that. And Thomas, thank you for the nice comment. Brian says, I called EDD and they put me on a new claim from PEUC to PUA. I'm scheduled to certify on March 28th. Okay, so that's good. It sounds like you were probably someone who didn't qualify for Fed Ed. And in that case, if you didn't qualify for Fed Ed, they also probably know that you didn't qualify for a whole new claim. You also might not need to reapply even when your benefit year is over. So it's good. Yeah, you should be able to keep certifying and getting paid, Brian. Yeah, the website's a mess, guys. Everybody keeps getting that error page and keeps getting logged off. The phone numbers should be working to the EDD. They are open today, but it's just Sundays, so it's jammed up on Sundays and Mondays. Yeah, lots of you guys are getting the website crashing. Maybe I'll make a little community post about that. Yeah, but it's normal. Thank you guys again for helping each other out. And again, I'm kind of skipping out. John, you got a notice of requirement to register for work. Do we need to do this and how? So that's the notice about CalWorks, right? I don't think we need to do CalWorks right now. That's like a standard notice that they send out. The work search requirement is still waived as of today. With a lot more people getting vaccinated and the cases coming down, I would anticipate that at some point in the future, they are going to bring the work search requirement back. That's going to be my guess, guys, but they haven't yet, still waived. So it's my understanding as of right now that you do not need to sign up for CalWorks, and that's just a standard letter that gets sent out. Thank you, Brooke. Jane, you're waiting for your first PEUC extension for 62 days. Jane, please reach out to your assembly member. That's way too long to be waiting. They should have fixed that by now. Make sure that there's not something else going on with your account. Yes, guys, the website's down for everybody right now. Okay, I'm going to start skipping around again. Thank you for the hearts, Myra. All right, I'm going to scroll way down to the bottom, I think. Oh, I am way down at the bottom. Let's scroll up a little bit. Hi, Max Maloney. You say, what's the next step after receiving the letter of approval? It's been months and you've gotten nothing. Okay, so you've got to call them and find out what's going on with your claim, because if it's been months, that's way too long. So call them, use Ask EDD. You probably can't get to the contact us yet. Have you gotten your account number on your claim? If you have your account number, you can log on to you can set up your account. And if you can get onto like your personal UI online homepage, then you're going to use contact us. You're also going to reach out to your local assembly member, because that's not normal. Summer Freeze says, I just clicked the like button. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you guys. I am on the 11 weeks PEUC extension with a claim balance yet left and a benefit year ending on 5/24. Am I getting the Fed Ed extension automatically applied during the gap? So this is what I think will happen with your claim. You will be able to certify on your claim until your claim balance hits 0. And once it hits 0, then you are just waiting on the EDD to complete the programming for, it's going to say extension tier 3, I think, which they're anticipating they're not going to have done until April 30th. On April 30th, when they do that, if there have been any weeks that you weren't paid, it would be retroactive, because I'm not quite sure how long your claim balance will take you. Sounds like you're in the phase out period, and the phase out period is supposed to end April 10th. So there may be a period between April 10th and April 30th where you're not able to certify and get paid, because the EDD will be in the process still of doing the programming for the third the third PEUC extension. And they won't give you that in the gap, but you don't need to apply for a new claim until after May, or 10 days before May 24th. Okay, I hope that made sense. Yeah, all you guys are having trouble certifying. I'm so sorry. Simon's saying try after 3 p.m. That is good advice, but before 6 p.m. But because by 6 p.m., there's too many people in the queue to get through. JC Lab, will starting a business and going into stock market affect your unemployment? Yes, it can. If you are doing day trading, or you're doing, options trading or something like that, if that becomes your business, then yes, you need to report any earnings or profits to the EDD, especially if you're doing it, because you can do that as a business and then you need to report that. Now, if you're doing a separate business, yes, just like YouTube is a business for me. So when I make money from YouTube, I have to report that as self-employment to the EDD. So it also depends on how much you're making. And JC Love, I also want to caution you, every time you sell a stock for a profit, that is a taxable event. And so again, I should also specify I'm not a tax professional. So check with your CPA, your tax preparer, your tax advisor, your accountant to get an answer from a professional. This is just my understanding of it, and I'm not a professional in these areas. But when you sell a stock for a profit, that becomes a taxable event. So for example, last year I bought some shares of AMC when they were like $2, and I sold them when they were worth $6. And it wasn't a lot of shares, guys. I made $90. So but I owe taxes on that $90. So my point is, be careful when you're selling stocks. I had kind of forgotten that I was going to owe taxes on those. Then I was like, I wish I wouldn't have done that. Also, if you're buying and selling taxes within an IRA or a Roth IRA, then it wouldn't be a taxable event. So really check with your tax professional. And then, if you have a business, you're going to report your earnings to the EDD. Tony Ton says, I just don't know. I verified 310, but I didn't do the EDD. green eggs is now, won't let me do it, and I'll leave me. I don't understand that. I probably missed the first part of that. Let's see here. Simon, try to reload the EDD webpage. That's a good tip. Loki, I'm in California, been exhausted since 10/26/2020. I'm waiting for the update certification. I'm not familiar with the update certification, but definitely call the EDD, use Ask EDD, use Contact Us, and reach out to your assembly member. If you're exhausted since 10/26, did you apply for a new claim? Was your benefit year over on 10/26? That is really early to have your claim be exhausted. So did you reapply? And if so, what happened? Andy tried to file a new account, but it didn't work all year. So got back on FedEd, but what is after FedEd? Your money's running out after the second week of April. So after that, Andy, they should be putting you back on PEUC. By then, it's going to be the third PEUC extension that will take you through the week ending September 4th. And when that happens, the programming might not be in place after the second week of April, though. The programming for the third PEUC extension, the EDD has said might take up until April 30th. But once that programming is in place, you would be able to certify for any weeks since you first ran out of benefits. Joseph, if you put in the wrong email address, you're going to need to call them to get that fixed. Also, use Ask EDD, Contact Us, and you could try and get your assembly member to help with that as well. Omari says, after certifying on 3/21, will your December benefits that will pending say paid before your 3/21 will? Not necessarily, Omari. And if you've still got weeks pending from December, you're going to need to call them about that. That is unusual. Zio sent, so actually what I think will happen for you is that your 3/21 weeks would be paid before your pending December weeks. Ziosen says, not yours in paper form. You're in California. You're still waiting. I'm not sure. Eddie says, you're on pandemic employment since the start of your claim. Your claim ends June of this year. You just got word you're going back to work. How do I cancel my current claim that ends in June of this year? So what you want to do is you want to keep certifying. A lot of businesses like mine are starting to call employees back to work. But the hours can change. We don't know if, I hope not. My desk is glass, but we'll knock on wood. I don't have anything wood in here. Knock on wood that the cases don't rise again, that we don't need to shut down again. But, it's still really early to know what's going to happen. So my recommendation is keep certifying every week. You might get the excessive earnings warning. That's okay. Or you can totally stop certifying for a while. And then if anything happened, you would just hit reopen claim. So you can just kind of stop certifying and that would do the trick in stopping your claim. You don't necessarily need to take any steps. So either just stop certifying or continue to certify, but you might get the excessive earnings warning. Pokemon Ethan says, what team, Ethan? We have to know what team. I'm not really a giant Pokemon fan, but I got really into Pokemon Go for a little while. So what team? Before I answer your question, I'm just kidding. Okay, so if you're on UI, on an extension, do you still qualify for the 300? You have a remaining balance. Yes, you do. Unless your benefit year is over. If your benefit year is over, you have to get paid something from unemployment in order to also get the $300. So if your benefit year has ended, call them and check and see if you qualify for a new claim. Drone Masters, your $1,400 was deposited into your bank account. That's your stimulus check. That is great news. I am glad to hear that. Mine was as well, and my roommates. My mom gets Social Security. She's not received hers yet. Juan says, my benefit year ends April 5th. I just reapplied last night. Did I make a mistake? I'm on PEUC. Not necessarily. And I think if you actually use the reapply button or the file a new claim button that shows up on your UI Online account, You can do that as soon as the button pops up. I do not recommend that, but it's not necessarily wrong. And since you've done it so far in advance of your benefit year ending, it's possible that you'll receive a decision on your new claim before you run out of benefits on this claim and your benefit year ends. So you didn't do anything wrong. It's not necessarily what I recommend, but what you did is not wrong at all. And there's actually another administrator on a different Facebook group. I'm watching her claim very closely, because she did pretty much exactly what you did. Her benefit year ended on March 13th, but she applied for a new claim on March 2nd. She has not heard back yet whether she qualifies for a new claim or not, but I'm really curious what happens with her claim, and I'll try and keep you guys posted on that. So yeah, you didn't do the wrong thing at all. It's telling you to reapply. You reapplied. But yeah, it just takes longer that way. Yep, the EDD system's totally overloaded right now. Hi, Emily. Emily, I just lost your question, but I love seeing you pop in. Don't donate or do any stickers. It makes me feel kind of bad. Emily, shoot, I just lost your question. Where'd it go? Oh, are the new claims of unemployment also affected for payments? My friends did their first certification 3/7, but today the payment is still pending. Thanks. Emily, did your friend have to do ID verification on that new claim? My suspicion, and I don't know this for sure, is that it's pending while they're waiting for the ID verification to complete. But yes, if she was able to certify, since it's been pending for more than 72 hours, I would recommend that she call to find out what's going on. Zeosin, do you know when the California updating system will be fixed? I do not. Sherry, my week's page showing pending from January. What does that mean? It means you're going to have to call them, try using Ask EDD, use Contact Us, and contact your assembly member. Joseph, I see that you're saying that you're from Arizona, but I somehow missed your comment. So could you please ask it again? David, is Jenny Silver? Oh, she is in here. Hi, Jenny. Good to see you. I didn't realize you were in here because I'm at the point in this, I'm at an hour and 16 minutes where I'm skipping around. I noticed you're in here because David noticed you're in here. But thanks for stopping in. Yeah. Alexis is on their first PEUC extension. And Joseph from Arizona, or Jenny, I know sometimes you know what they're asking about. If anybody in the comments knows what Joseph from Arizona wants to know and wants to help me out, I would appreciate that. Jenny, you missed it. The little kitty that I'm helping, he made an appearance on camera earlier. Oh, thank you. Did you see him? He's super cute. He popped in earlier. Let's see. And Jenny, look, I'm rested and my voice is good. I was sick earlier the last time I did this. I am feeling good today, and I'm going to try and pre-film some videos so I don't miss it. Thank you, David, for saying you love me too. I want to be on the lookout for Joseph from Arizona's question. And Mikey, I see that you're saying you have the same question as Jack. If you guys could just re-ask your question since I'm skipping around. The cat is taking his medicine. He's pretty good about it. Drone Master is saying, Lisa, you actually talked to somebody at the EDD. I know, that's pretty amazing. Jenny, see, you've got some admirers too. Jenny's married, you guys. Leave her alone. Thank you guys. Amari says, after certifying on 3/21, will my December benefits that were pending say or be paid before your 3/21 will? Omari, have you certified for all the weeks way back in December? If not, if you've got weeks from December that are stuck on pending, I would actually think that they're probably going to pay you these March weeks and that you're going to need to call to get the December weeks fixed. If you're certifying for a big block of certifications and you've just done them all, it's going to kind of pay out all of them at once, is how I would think that would go. You guys are all excited about Jenny, and so my comments are popping all over the place. Let's see. Oh, Joseph asked what if he put in the wrong email. So I did answer that. And unfortunately, my answer is that I would call the EDD. Jenny, I don't know if you've seen this. I always have 4 things that I recommend. I would imagine you do too. When there's a problem like that, or really any problem, call the EDD, see what they say, see if they're able to help with that. Use the Ask EDD feature. Use the Contact Us feature. And lastly, your assembly member might be able to help get your email updated. So those are always the 4 steps whenever there's a problem. But you are going to need to get in touch with somebody in order to update that. Okay. Let's see here. Jenny, I was about to pop off, but we'll see. They love you too. Okay. Rose, and I'm skipping around the comments, guys, and I am going to wrap this up maybe in about 5 more minutes. And Omari, I tried to answer yours. It just depends on if you're certifying for a lot of weeks or if you're certifying just now, but you still have 2 stuck from December. If you have 2 random weeks stuck from December, you're going to need to call. If you're certifying for a big block, you're just going to kind of get all those paid and approved at once. Yes. Uh-oh. Oh, Jenny's going to go dig for worms. Sounds like fun. Oh yeah, guys, like the video, run one of my playlists in the background. Jenny, I actually have a playlist that's just our 2 collaboration videos. So that would be amazing if you guys run that one, because that actually has 1 video that helps my channel that I get a little bit of compensation on, and 1 video for her channel that gets a little bit of compensation for her. So that playlist would be awesome. Just 2 videos in there. Okay, yeah, smash the like button, Cotton Grundy. All right, let's try and do one more. Let's do Eric's question. Quick question about your claim. You're on the PEUC claim. Your date shows 3/29 on extension. Now, from my understanding, EDD said only regular UI claims had to reapply at the end of the benefit year. So, Eric, you started off as a regular unemployment claim. So that's kind of what they mean. You do need to check and see if you qualify for a new claim. And the best way to do that is going to be by calling. So, yep, you want to do that. Okay. Jenny's saying to run my uploads playlist. So that's all the videos. Oh yeah, that would be amazing. You guys don't want to hear me drone on all day, but I would absolutely love that if you ran my uploads playlist. That would really help the channel. And with me making videos a little bit less regularly, I would love to keep engagement with my viewers and, stay in touch with you guys. Okay, one more. The website is down. Yeah, the website's been down all day. I'm sure Jenny's been getting those comments as well. So just keep trying. And again, with that website, the tips I'm hearing, if you're using your phone, got a lot of messages. You're going to want to choose that you can choose UI online or UI mobile. Try using UI mobile. If none of that's working and you have a desktop or laptop computer available to you, try those options. Otherwise, just take a break from it, come back later. You guys, last week when I certified, I didn't certify until about 7 p.m. I know, I was busy. I had my COVID shot, whatever. I was doing a lot last week. So I didn't certify until about 7 p.m. It still switched to paid by 10 p.m. that night. And it was loaded onto my EDD debit card the next morning. And it was in my regular bank account by Tuesday, just like always. Melrose, honey, we're going to do yours last because you are a regular viewer, and then that's really, really going to be the end. Will PUA continue to get the extended benefit and without any interruptions? Yes and no. PUA doesn't need to do anything else to get their extensions. The without interruptions part depends on what your claim balance is currently. If your claim balance is 0, and maybe it hit 0 last week or it hit 0 today, the EDD is still updating the computer programming. They're doing that. They expect to have that completed by April 10th. So if your claim balance is 0 on your PUA claim right now, you may not be able to certify and get paid again until April 10th. That's when the computer programming is completed. But once the computer programming is completed, then you should be able to certify for any weeks that you weren't already able to certify and get paid for those weeks. Oh, you're saying to certify on the phone. I don't think that will work if your PUA claim balance is zero right now, because the computer programming isn't in place for that next extension. So yeah. Oh, and Melrose Honey, you're saying to certify on the phone if you cannot certify by the computer or your phone, UI online or mobile. Yes, that is a possibility. Now, for those of you who do still have a balance on your PUA claim, you're going to be able to continue to get certified and get paid until that claim balance hits zero. If it hits zero before April 10th, then there may be a little period of time where you're not paid. But again, once they get that in place, you should get paid. All right. All right, guys, that's going to be it for me today. It was super fun to have Jenny pop in. You guys got to see the wounded cat that kept me up until 4 a.m. I'm feeling better. I'm back at work, but I'm still here for you guys. Run one of my playlists in the background. That would mean the world to me. Do the one with Jenny Silver and I, or do my uploads one. That would help my channel immensely. One donation, so I'll do the donation. Is just Melrose Honey giving me a donation. I appreciate that so much. You guys have a great Sunday. Try not to worry too much. There shouldn't be very many, or if any, situations where you shouldn't continue to get benefits if you're unemployed through September 4th. It's just going to take a little while for them to, and by a little while, I mean it could take a long while for the EDD to get all the kinks worked out, but there should be something for those of us who need it through September 4th. All right. Have a good weekend. It feels so good to be back and energetic and here with you guys. See you later. I'll see you next time.